And here we are. It is Monday night. And we, of course, have got Mr. Jack Cole with us.
Hello.
And I'll tell you what, I actually think that Wargaming Recon actually got into the stream before we did. It was... Wargaming, you were fast, my friend. I will give you that much. In fact, talking about saying thank you, I do want to reach out and say thank you to all my Patreon supporters. Thank you to all of you Twitch subscribers. You empower me, and much love to you all. Your support truly just keeps me going, and I love every single one of you for it. So all of you guys and girls up there, thank you. It's truly, truly, truly appreciated. Now, of course, we are drawing the Castle Keeper's Guide. It is Monday. We're going to be doing the same again tomorrow. We left this with me drawing a castle based upon Harlock Castle. I'm going to continue that, but I'm going to be doing it with my illustrious husband, Jack of the Cole. Jack, hi.
Hello. Hello. I must have missed from the last stream. It looks like so did Wargaming do something spiffy in order to get his banner behind you there? That's awesome.
Yep. So Wargaming, hopefully I did it justice. I basically look, the green screen is terrible. I need a proper green screen. Look, I think it actually is getting confused by the color. Look at that. Huh. Anyway, Wargaming, I took your banner, I just pushed it up a little bit so people could see it a little bit better. I dropped in a collar underneath it right there just to create a nice little wall behind me. I think it works pretty well. Alright. Jack, what are we talking about today? I know we've had, both of us, a bit of a day at work. How are things going?
Yes, indeed. Bit of a day at work, but now we are off work and we are relaxing and having a good time. You are mapping, I'm hanging out with you and all of your fine peeps that you stream with here. So all is good in the world.
All is good indeed.
Wargaming asks, are you two feeling as mad and angry as I am about work stuff? Well, I don't know what your work stuff entails, but I have a sneaking suspicion all three of us do drastically different things. Well, I know Alyssa and I do drastically different things, but we are both mad and angry about our own particular things in our own particular corners of the working field. So I got to imagine you in your corner as well, probably in the same boat. Unless you mean other things specifically that I'm not aware of. I guess I'm just happy that I have work, I guess, because there are still many people who don't, and many people who are going to be, affected by the new rounds of shutdowns that are going to be happening.
There is that, right? It's like you have to have a certain amount of appreciation just to have a job and a source of income.
Okay, so let's see. I'm going to ask
Papa Fox? Papa Fox? When was the last time Papa Fox was in the channel? Good to see you, my friend.
Oh, indeed, hello.
Well, in fact, Papa Fox, how much of this have you seen? This is, we're doing some different stuff here, my friend. And hi, Noble Dwarf, and Noble Dwarf, I think about you almost daily, my friend.
Ooh,
truly.
Let me get rid of this person.
And I don't think it's exclamation rate. Thank you very much for doing that, Jack.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean these are trying times for us all. So let's try and talk about something a little bit different, shall we? Let's use this channel as a refuge away from all of that.
So, going on the change of subject, and this might help maybe even create some chatter here in the chat as people start trickling in, and with these fine fellows in the chat here. in pop culture, whether it be television, movies, I guess you could do comics and books as well. But what is a favorite android, robot, mechanized something, character or creature that you're a fan of?
A robot creature.
Like a mechanized creature or a robot or an AI or an artificial being of some kind. I mean, you could cheat and be
Can
like
I
a
pick Wall-E?
suit. Yeah, Wall-E would work. Wall-E's a robot. That totally works. Hello, Brian.
Hey, Brian here, Brian McWhirter. Love you, man. And Alexis. Oh, my mouth today is just not working. Alex Vixen. Oh my god. Bender's a good one. Princess Strega, thank you very much for the subscription, my love. Mwah.
Malvernus. Now, Bishop, is that because Bishop is cybernetic? I guess I actually know Bishop. Oh, Bishop from Aliens. That Bishop. I was thinking of X-Men Bishop. I was like, I don't remember him. But you mean Bishop from Aliens, right? Played by Lance Hendrickson.
Can I pick Wall-E?
R2, the eye from Jabba's palace. Yeah, that guy. The doorman. The door.
Well, Venice, good to see you here, my friend.
Ooh, Johnny 5. Nice. Papa Fox bringing up Data from Star Trek Next Generation. K2SO from Rogue One that Alan Tudyk did. Yes, Trebor. I am a staple Monday night feature.
Is Trebor here?
Yeah.
Hey, Trebor. Good to see you, my friend.
Oh, so Strega, the question is in any kind of pop culture, so movies, books, TV shows, anything like that. What is your favorite artificial intelligence character or creature or thing? Consciousness, so it could be like an AI, a robot, a cyborg. You could cheat and be like a mechanized suit, but technically that would be powered by something else, so it might not necessarily count. Depending. Alyssa said Wall-E, and there's some people in the chat have been saying things like number 5, K2SO, R2D2. Hey, Marlin's girl is with you on Wall-E. IG-11, yeah. IG-11 was so good.
Oh, IG-11 is a solid choice.
Activating self-destruct. No, stop that!
IG-11 was so funny.
Ooh, Optimus Prime is a good one. Flair Imsaho from the Player of Games. I am not familiar with that thing or that game,
not at
book,
all.
Movie, show. I'm not familiar. What is the Player of Games, Brian? Alex Viskin says Orak from Blake 7. And Marvin from Hitchhiker's Guide. Is that Marvin?
You doing Blake 7, I should have known that you'd do Blake 7, because we were literally talking about it just the other day.
Vincent from Black Hole, corny but memorable. Oh, what was the name? That actually reminds me. What was the name of the AI like thing from Interstellar? That was kind of like the blocky, That was like it was like a giant block that would move around and help them. I like that one.
Have we done Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Marvin?
Yeah, Alex Vixen said that in addition to Aurak from Blake 7. Wargaming says that Marvin needs to dunk his head in a bucket. Marvin in his gloomy voice would agree that he would and should, as should everyone else. Tars! Thank you, Malvernus. Yes, Tars from Interstellar. Ooh, the Master Control Program from Tron.
Oh, wow.
Nice. I would go with Tron from Tron. That works too, right?
Was Ralph... Oh,
well...
Does Ralph count?
I mean, technically he counts because he is a computer game. He's an AI character, but I think Wreck-It Ralph kind of breaks the rules a little bit. I mean, I think the implication is that it is they're all like quote unquote real people, but I get the argument because when they're on the internet, there's all the video game characters, you know, when they go into the you're just mad that his job tried to derail you from your giant list of favorites. What about Alyssa's gonna divorce me if I can't remember his name. RoboCop.
Peter Murphy.
What?
Wasn't it Peter Murphy?
No, the big rope, the big.
Cole, come on! I'm not going to tell you what that was. Come on, you gotta remember that. Come on. Yeah.
Ed 209. No, Ed 209. No, I don't know.
Oh, Brian just told you it is ED 209.
It is a. Okay, cool. Thank you.
He was great. I remember watching ED209 when he first was... I think he just had this great look. Mm-hmm. But then this whole concept of them, like, sort of, obviously, this is a show and tell. This is a boardroom meeting. This is my PowerPoint presentation in 3D. Behold. And when he kicks off and you go, hoo, and then he doesn't back down. He doesn't stop. And you go, oh, shit. Things have just gone wrong. I love that.
Oh, is Lore in Picard? I didn't know that they brought him back to play Lore. That's awesome. Yeah, because I guess Lore would still be around, wouldn't he? They never took him out in the show. You know. I like and I had mentioned this before with the villains that I like from Star Trek. I mean, I'm a fan of the Borgs in general, which I know that's kind of an integral part to the Picard show, which we haven't seen yet. But Amy, AMEE from Red Planet, as well as the Russian maintenance helper program from the same film. I think Red Planet is the one I didn't see, because there were 2 or 3 Mars movies that came out like all at the same time. I think Red Planet was the one I didn't. Was Red Planet the one with Val Kilmer? Because I think that's the one I didn't see. Ooh, Alex Vixen built ED209 in a Shadowrun game.
Oh, nice.
If you still have the stats, I would love you to shoot them to me.
Don't give him the stats.
I would love that.
Don't do it. Don't you give him the stats.
Oh, Crichton. Of course he would. Of course, Crichton. I didn't even think of Crichton.
Oh, Crichton. Yeah, good choice.
Yeah. Princess, you haven't seen Picard either, and Wargaming saying we should watch it. Yeah, I have heard from many people that Picard is worth it. It's one of those things where it's on streaming service that's one of the ones we don't subscribe to. I think a friend of ours said that they would loan us our login.
So Wargaming Recon's up and running. Jack Facts. We got a Jack Facts here, Jack.
Jack Facts.
Jack Facts. Facts about Jack.
Oh boy. Let's see. Facts about me. And I guess because if I'm gonna be a permanent feature on okay, so I was right. Yes, thank you, Alex Vixen and David David Beglass for clarifying. Red Planet is the Kilmer one, and the mission to Mars is the one. Okay, with Sinise. Okay, yeah, the Kilmer one is the one I haven't seen. Okay, cool.
Do you want me to eat a jelly bean while we're waiting? While
did
you
that
want to
come
think
up?
about a fact?
Oh, I have a fact because that's what I was going to say. Because I'm a permanent feature here now on Mondays. I gotta make sure my facts don't get too where I give too many away in one go. I'm going to keep them like minimal, and then maybe we can even do a thing where it's like a Jack fact where someone can ask to clarify something or expand more upon it. But I can say Jack fact. In my youth, I was an avid bird watcher and had up to I believe I had seen up to 400 different species of birds throughout the U.S. and England and Costa Rica. I think it was 400.
That's a nice Jack fact. Absolutely true as well. Now I will eat the jelly bean, and you may note two things about these jelly beans right here. First and foremost, I'm going to do a zoom in because Princess Strega and Wargaming Recon requested this. Secondly, you're going to notice that the jelly bean jar is full. It is now full. So there are good ones in here and there are bad ones in here. We've had this terrible run of luck of bad ones. Let's see where we net out tonight. I have no idea about the colours and the flavours. Oh, that's actually quite good. Oh, I'm familiar with that flavour. No, I know that. That's like a vanilla. That's a good one. I'm okay with that. Thank you, Wargame. Alright. I think that's the second good one I've had in all this time. Alright. Back to you, Jack.
So yeah, yes, Princess, I was indeed a birder, and that was the main reason, yes, why I carried around the big binoculars. Nice. Trebor used to be a birder as well, or still is.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey, this is not what we do. Come here. There's no room for you there, baby. There's no room. Come on. You can actually redeem a pet snack right now. Oh, he's touching my arm. What are you doing, Wickle fella? What are you doing? He's just woke up. What are we doing?
Let's do a cat fact. Our boy Deacon likes to climb underneath blankets, whether it be like a throw that we have on the couch, or some of the like an Afghan that we have at the foot of our bed. but he likes to, when he gets tired and sleepy, he will, or like, you know, he wants to take a nap, he will find one of these like throw blankets and will crawl under it to take a nap.
Princess, and then snack.
And then we'll sleep there for hours.
Say noises. Come on. Say it, Mom. What do you want? Come on.
Can you hear him? Barely.
He was being very quiet. He's a sleepy fella. He was literally asleep on the bed when we started the stream. Okay.
Both Deacon and Rem are black cats. Yeah, I love them too.
They were like animal rescue cats, both of them, and they were in the same litter. I mean, they weren't litter buddies, but they were together at the rescue. And we thought that it would actually be good for them to actually get both of them at the same time. Didn't end up going that way.
Yeah, sadly, because Deacon's a little bit of a butthead. Oh, that's interesting to know, Trebor. I'll actually look it up. I actually opened up a tab off to the side here, so I can look into this with this Wingspan board game, and we do like board games. We are definitely board game players.
Yeah, we've got to the point where we have more board games than we have time to play them. Never get tired of a good board game.
Okay, so moving on from artificial intelligence, we are going to move to I guess this is going to be kind of the end of this list that we've been running this list for a long time, but it is going to be, what is your favorite horror icon? Maybe it's a symbol or a character like Freddy Krueger or Michael Myers, or maybe there's a horror. When I said icon, I meant, I guess, more of like a horror related thing, like maybe it's zombies or vampires or what have you.
O'Brien came in swinging with Pinhead.
Nice. Princess likes Chucky.
Chucky creeps me out, but I think that's the point, right?
Yeah, when I was younger, I had in addition to having a fear of walking out my front door. Yeah, I hear you, gaming. That is the fear of the world.
What, you had a fear of what?
A fear of like inanimate dolls. So like dolls and like, things like that. So Chucky was one that I when I was younger, I never wanted to see because it just scared the Jesus out of me.
I think we all fall into that camp, though. I think that's kind of like the success of those movies.
Well, that's all right, Alex. It's we were doing a favorite like horror icons or horror themed things. So like it could be like Freddy Krueger or Chucky or Pinhead, or things like, I like vampires or ghosts or haunted houses, that type of thing. I saw Marlon's Girl brings up Ash Williams from The Evil Dead, and while that technically counts, I think let's go with like the evil things or the dark things. Ash is the hero. Let's not do those. Let's do what are the spooky things? Spooky. Let's see. This princess says vampires as well. Alex says the Morwen and also were creatures. I don't know what a Morwen is. Unless I do, and I don't know that that's what it was called.
Oh, that went up the wrong way. Name. Oh dear. Oh no, I'm gonna sneeze real bad. Whiskey's gonna come out my nose. Name a spooky hero. War game.
Casper's not spooky.
Green Loon Tune, you just go and you gotta steal that doll and bury it somewhere. In fact, no, don't, because A, it's illegal, but B, that doll will come back and haunt you, my friend.
Outlander. I have not even heard of this film. Jim Caviezel, Sophia Myles, Jack Huston, John Hurt, and Ron Perlman. 2008 science fiction action film. This sounds awesome. This is the first line of the plot, Alyssa.
All right.
A spacecraft crashes in a lake in Vendel area, Scandinavia. So 550 to 790. What the hell? A spaceship crashing in Iron Age Norway, basically. Are you kidding me right now? I want to see this movie so much now.
Get it on the list. Get it on the list.
Holy scamoli, I am writing this down. I have never heard of this. This sounds amazing.
Jack and I have a list of movies, typically they're the older movies, not the ones that just releasing, that we're trying to actually just get our way through. Sometimes they're just like collections from the 80s. Let's just add this one. It sounds great.
Yeah, and some of them are like rewatches. Like we've been rewatching the Godfather trilogy. We've watched the first two already. We did a kick where we were watching like some like 80s and 90s action films. So we were like rewatching like the Lethal Weapon series. We were watching a lot of like Van Damme movies.
The classics, the great ones.
The great one. We watched Roadhouse not too long ago.
Oh, we did. We watched Roadhouse.
Oh god, I forgot how bad it was. Oh, Event Horizon I love that movie. When the first time I saw that I was in the theater, and it scared the bejesus out of me. Yeah, Cowboys and Aliens was one that I wanted to love it because I loved the premise, but for some reason it wasn't firing for me. I don't know why. Because like all of the things about it like should have been things that I loved, but it was like, Alyssa, I don't know if you have a different opinion.
I'm not sure I've even seen it, to be honest.
Oh, you know what then? I should give it another try, and then you should watch it for the first time. Cowboys and Aliens. It's Daniel Craig, Harrison Ford. It's a Wild West film, and Daniel Craig.
I've seen it once. I've completely forgotten everything about
it. Okay. We should rewatch it then. We should rewatch it. Oh, Brian, I didn't know that the unused stuff from Event Horizon was destroyed. The unused footage. That's quite the shame, actually. All right, Trebor, have fun with your game.
All right, see you, Trebor. Thank you for popping in, my friend.
Catch you on the flip side. Okay, so Alex was saying that Outlander film is like, Beowulf, but a sci-fi movie, because they're all going to be Viking-ish, but instead of fighting a creature from their mythology, it's a space creature. Nice. I'm gonna make sure I keep this note active so we can see it. Wow, Event Horizon had on or about 3 extra hours of footage.
3 extra hours.
I wonder why the studio got rid of it all. That's a shame.
And they literally got rid of it.
Yeah, Brian is saying that supposedly they just destroyed all the extra footage they had.
I wonder why you would destroy something like that.
and not archive it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. Depending on the studio, some studios are not fun people. Oh, because I've never played, and I know nothing about the Warhammer 40K mythos. Is Warhammer 40K like scary, spooky like that? Like going to like hell dimensions and stuff?
Oh, Jesus Christ! What did I just do?
Oh, it is a dark, scary universe. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, and I don't even know. I was gonna say I have minis for Warhammer Fantasy because I think they're cool, and I like if it's not cyberpunk related stuff like Shadowrun or Cyberpunk, I typically like more either Call of Cthulhu or fantasy. So typically, if it's like sci-fi, too sci-fi looking, I go eh. Will I be paid to do those minis? I don't know. Last time I was like proposing the idea of painting, I got chastised for not having any of my own paints. And since I don't want to buy paints, I don't think I'll ever do any painting.
See, this is a prime example of where your story and my story don't align. Because I already spoke to Wargame Recon on Saturday's Patreon chat all about you and your painting, and how you're actually pretty damn good at it, but don't like doing it.
Well, I've only done it the once, maybe twice. And yeah, and it's one of those things where I think it's probably because I didn't have music playing at the time. I didn't have anything. It was just me in silence with paint and the mini. And I was one of those things where it was like my brain, like, I have a hard time focusing in complete silence. You know, even like if I'm out in the woods, like if I'm camping or a hike or something, I have the sounds of the world around me. I have sounds of nature around me, and it's good. But if I'm in a house and I'm painting and there's just like devoid of anything, then it's one of those things where my brain is like starts to freak out, like ah.
Well, I think that's fair. I think that's a fair thing. I mean, I listen to my audiobooks.
Yeah, I think if I was gonna paint, I would definitely have like some music going.
You could probably even have your films and things going in the background, you know?
Yeah. And Wargaming's commenting that a lot of people listen to podcasts and stuff. Yeah. And I used to when I used to work in the office, I would actually listen to a lot of podcasts because it was easier to explain listening to a podcast all the time as opposed to someone coming in and being like, "Are you watching a film on your phone?" Yes, I am. As a matter of fact.
Yeah, YouTube's a good one to watch too. Absolutely.
Princess, if I'm asleep, I'm asleep. That's cool. And I go to sleep when I'm tired. If I go to sleep and I'm not tired, like I'm going to bed for some reason and I don't feel like I'm sleepy yet, then yes, often I will sit there awake and kind of like be going kind of crazy in the darkness and the silence. But typically when I go to bed, I'm tired. So I conk out and then I'm unconscious. So I don't have to worry about the fact that there's no sound. But if I ever like wake up in the middle of the night and I can't get back to sleep, it's usually really hard for me to get back to sleep because I'm sitting there in the darkness and there's no sound. So luckily for me though, I don't suffer from insomnia and I have a flexible enough life that I can stay up until I'm sleepy and then I go to bed and I'm good. See, and I love the dark and I love the solitude, but if I'm not going to bed, I need there to be something happening. And that's why I used to love camping because, some people don't like camping or like backpacking and that whole thing because they actually are kind of unsettled by the sounds of nature. Like their brain can't calm down because there's chirping and, rustling and you know, that type of
Or
thing.
the opposite. I remember when my mom and dad moved to Scotland, and they were out in the country. They were out in the country in the middle of a farmer's croft cottage, and it was so quiet because I was used to the sounds of the city. It was so quiet I couldn't sleep.
Now, were there sounds of like bugs or birds or?
No, it was the because we're not talking about like the South here, Louisiana. You know, there wasn't like frogs and crickets and things like that. It was just silence. It was literally just. However you imagine the sounds of the Scottish Highlands to be, cold. You know. I didn't quite start over, no. Let me just finish this botched job right here. So what I've done is, you'll actually see our sketch is still in the background there. I got rid of the old perspective lines. I've drawn my own perspective lines in. This sketch is what we did on the last stream. You might recognize it, but I'm using that as the sketch in the background there. So this is still the same, but iterating it on one more step. Kind of, I think we might have to sort of do 2 layers of ink, but this is the first layer. So yeah, it's the same. What I did is I did get rid of the very confusing, over the top perspective lines because there was just too much of it going on. Thank you, Princess. Thank you. Yeah, I agree. I was just looking at it, going, I'm not happy with these perspective lines. So like about 5 minutes before the stream, I was like, I'm just going to do my own, and you can see there's my focal point back there. And I took the actual lines that we had from the sketch, and I was like, these lines are good. I'm okay with the general placement of things. Let's draw our perspective lines from these, and we'll correct things as we go. So that's what we're doing right here. It was, honestly, Wargaming Weekend, it was $4. You know. And I'll probably honestly just give them away to you Patreon and Twitch supporters. It's like, here, have them. Because, you know, I'm sure someone somewhere will get use out of it. Have you seen the Wing Commander movie?
I have not seen the Wing Commander movie. It was one of those ones where when it initially came out, it kind of flew under my radar. And then looking into it later, I heard it just across the board was not very good. And so I was just like, oh, okay. I didn't really know about it when it first came out. And so I just won't look into it. So no, I never have.
Princess, did you like it?
Malverna says it's corny, but it has some good elements to it. And Wargaming is saying that he enjoyed it, acknowledging that it's not great, but it was fun. See, and I like movies. I'm a super big fan of movies that are fun, but they're not good. So, I mean, hell, maybe I should. Well, and it is one of those things where, you know, I looked into it before I had a different appreciation of films that I do now. I definitely am way more open-minded about them now. And I try to give everything a chance. But I think it just never, it was one of those ones where I had already kind of turned off the possibility of it before I decided to at least try to give everything a chance. Tried to give everything
I think I've watched it, but I don't remember anything about it.
I just know that like Matthew Lillard and Freddie Prinze Jr. are in it. That's all I know. And I know that there's a series of video games. And apparently, Mark Hamill's in it. He does the voice for one of the characters' autopilot in his ship. doing this right, so I'm going to try.
Good timing, whoever that is.
That was me. That's what I was saying. I'll be right back.
It's like, wow, this person's got things down. You know what? I actually don't think I've saved it yet, so that's a good suggestion. Oh, God. Alright, I'm going to do this one while Jack is not around. And... Alright, so let's do this. I'm not going to worry too much about redeeming that just yet. And a snack grab. I'll take a red check on the snack grab right now because I'm going to do a bean. Let's do the bean. Alright, and these have been very thoroughly mixed up, by the way. And I'm digging down. It's another. Oh, it's a hot one. Oh, it's a hot one. So the hot one starts spicy, sweet. And then slide in with some spice to your face. It's not the hottest one we've had. But it's definitely tingling. You know what I mean? It's all alive in here right now. That feels like I just swallowed a bunch of pepper. That's an experience. Alright. There you go, War Game Recon. You get yourself a snack. Alright, jelly bean, done. Save, done. Wine, it's back in the glass, baby. Pet, placated. VIP for the month, I'll just make sure that you get it, Wargaming, and then we'll slide it across the table to you. Actually, so let's do 2 truths, 1 lie. And I'm gonna sketch these down as we go, okay?
2 truths and 1 lie, you say?
Yeah. 1. This is 2 truths and 1 lie. Oh, I was actually in the middle of drawing a circle, but okay, here we go. Number 1. Never. Why? Look at this. Never broken a bone in my body. I've never had a broken bone in all of my life. Number 2. However, I have had bone grafts, and I now am part cow bone. I had surgery. They had to replace and shave away some bone, replace it, and it was apparently cow bone that they picked. 3. I was once nearly blinded in one eye. One of those is false. Princess Striker, gotcha. Yeah, I think, no worries, Princess. Oh yeah, this one, crit fail. Yeah, it's a good shirt. It's a good shirt. Alright, Jack, start keeping track. We got a false, true, true.
Got a false, true, true. Got a true, false, true. We've got a true, false, true from GL. So let's see. So Alex is thinking that the false one is you've never broken a bone. So she thinks that you have broken a bone and thinks that you are part cowbone and once nearly blinded. Princess and Green Lantern both say both say that you've never had a bone broken and that you were once nearly blinded, but you are not part cowbone. All right, let's see what else people think.
And if we're ready to call it, I can let you know. Jack, just tell me when.
Give it a little bit of time. Now, a little bit about your map, if I may ask. Now, was the isometric scale on this castle purely your decision? Was it someone's suggestion? Was it something that the client suggested?
It was my decision, and yes, it's making it a lot longer to do. We'd be done with this map if I hadn't opted for this approach. So actually doing this approach was very foolhardy of me. But after the success of the block and honestly the village, I felt emboldened to actually do the castle in this format as well versus top down. And I think we can pull it off. I mean, the top down of Harlock Castle is nowhere near as interesting as the side view of Harlock Castle. So once we get this nailed, I think it will be good. I think it's beginning to take shape. But yeah, it definitely me just going all balls out, going, I could do it! That was pure me. But I'm gonna blame GL.
Okay. Yeah, it was just one of those things where, personally, I love it, especially when you challenge yourself like this. I know it's not maybe for, time efficiency's sake. That's Wargaming. We need your vote on the two truths and a lie. Alyssa has written them on above her castle there.
I'm going to repeat it right now. I have never broken a bone in my life. However, I did have a damaged bone that needed to have a bone graft, and they picked cowbone for that, which makes me part cow, and it's not just my big belly. Lastly, though, staying on the damaged theme, I have, however, nearly been blinded at one point in my life. I think Jack's just going to let it run just for a wickle bit.
Looks like Wargaming is on Alex's train, the false, true, true. So we have 2 for false, true, true, and 2 for true, false, true.
All right.
But as I was saying though, I like that you do things to challenge yourself, and yes, from a time perspective, on doing that, it's not sure, like you said, you acknowledge it's not as fast, you'd be done by now. But I personally, and I'm sure everybody else here is entertained as well by it. But it's cool seeing your skills develop even greater because since you don't normally do this, it's cool to see you do it.
Well, thank you. I really actually appreciate that. Apparently there are programs better than Photoshop for doing this. I think Procreate is one that came up last week, and it came up in a private chat with someone as well during the week. And so I think I might start getting some new tools. But I'm really loving this type of look, just to sprinkle that in. As I want to do more cutaways. I would love to do more, elevated views, as Alex Vixen would say. So I definitely do want to hone my skills. It will mean some slow periods, some learning periods, but I think the results are coming in. I mean, I think this will work out. This will be a great map as well. Once we've got this dialed in, and the fact that I'm beginning to ink some details in, and we start to add the cliff and the slopes coming down to the water. I'm trying to decide what to do with the water. I'm thinking about bringing the water actually like in this sort of area and creating a moat out of it, like this river, whatever you want to call it. But I think it would be cool.
All right, so the call is being called for, and I think Wargaming confidently answered with false, true, true, because I think he is misremembering one of your stories where he is saying that you broke your arm wrestling.
No, so I didn't break my arm. I tore the ligaments off my arm. My muscle was stronger than the ligaments. My bone was stronger than the ligaments, and the ligaments gave way in arm wrestling. So that's close, but it was definitely not a broken bone. Now, the truth is, I've almost not broken a bone in my life. However, I caught a ball once at school, and I caught it like a right spaz. And this finger here is now deformed because I apparently broke a growth plate in here. And so, and the funny story is, I came home and I was like, Mom, my finger hurts. And you know what moms are like. If it was broken, it would hurt more. You know? And I'm like, and that's the answer to moms, isn't it? If it was broke, it would hurt more. And it's hurting a lot. And so it actually healed and then continued to grow and actually is bent now with a little sort of knob or bone on one side. So I'm going to say that I have had a broken bone. You know, it's very minor in the grand scheme of things, but I have had a broken bone.
So even though the time that Wargaming is remembering was incorrect, he was still true in his false true.
Well, in fact, you know, I'm actually sort of mixing things up. I mean, I haven't had a broken bone. My apologies. So that one's false, because while it's really, really close, it was a growth plate. It wasn't the actual bone itself. Gotcha. And this was ligaments. It wasn't actually a breaking of the arm. It sounded like a snap, and it was a snap, like a snapping of a pencil. But I've never actually broken a bone in my body.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
So
now, this one, though, cowbone, yes. I've actually had some pretty extensive dental surgery, and not because I'm English. Screw you. Wisdom teeth problem in my back right molar or wisdom tooth had to come out. Caused a lot of complications I'm not going to lead people into, but it caused a cavity of bone at the back of my jaw which they had to fill, and they filled it with apparently something like they called it bovine bone. I don't know if it's something they grow in a lab or something they shave off a cow, but they actually filled the hole with bovine bone, infused with my own blood to help it take. So I am a Minotaur. I don't look like it, but I am a Minotaur. I am part bull. You're welcome. And I was once nearly blinded as a kid. Had a friend, one of my best friends, throw a stone into a group of people that were really upsetting him, and it bounced off the ground and it hit me, the innocent bystander. It bounced and it hit me right in the eye, and I was in hospital for about a week after that because it was full of blood, and I almost lost the sight in one eye. True story.
So then technically those were all true?
No, because I haven't broken a bone. I broke a growth plate. I've ripped off tendons. The first one was false.
The first one was
true.
The first one was I've never broken a bone.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying yes, I have never broken a bone.
Correct. Oh. Did I fuck up my own true, false, true thing?
Yes, you did true.
You're welcome.
So that was 3 Alyssa facts, folks. Tune in next week.
All of that to screw up.
Well, we could say that the growth plate one.
You know, you could have actually, honestly, you could have kept asking me about that, and I would have gone, right, yeah.
Yes,
right.
Wargaming is now leading the recount. Yeah, I agree with Brian. The growth plate fracture,
Oh, God.
Call a spade a spade. I mean, it was a bone item of. It was one of those ones where it was kind of tricksy. Where I think that counted as a bone break. I mean, good lord.
Okay, so never broken a bone, but you kind of did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a lying sack of shit.
You were an honorary doctor in Afghanistan? Now, is that for real, or are you being funny?
Okay, so there you go. Alex Vixen is saying it's a bone. Growth plates are the areas of new bone growth in children and teens. So I have broken a bone. So I am a lying toe rag.
So Princess herself is doing a two truths in a lie now? So her 3. I have had a close encounter with a fork that could have blinded an eye if I had not been wearing glasses.
Ooh.
A school teacher from high school threw a rock and didn't see me coming, and it shattered a lens on my glasses. And thirdly, I have no desire to learn how to shoot or wield a firearm. Oh, right, Brian, you were a combat medic. My apologies. Yes, I actually remember you mentioning that before. Sorry, I think it was the honorary doctor that threw me. I was like, what? Gotcha. Yes. Gotcha. Wargaming says, oh no, he corrects himself. He says false, true. So he thinks the fork to the eye is the false one, but the rock to the eye and that you have no desire. I too am gonna do what Wargaming initially did, and then what both Alyssa and Alex are saying. I'm gonna say true, false. It's probably gonna be one of those Trixie things where she's gonna be like, I have no desire to learn because I already know how, and I'm a marksman.
Yeah, she does like her Trixie Dixie answers. She does.
All right, so it looks like almost everybody is doing true, false. Wargaming's the only one who didn't because he switched his up to a false, true.
He's gonna regret that. You watch.
And Brian says true, false, true. Oh, and Princess gives the answer. True, false. Straightforward, no trixies. So she did almost get blinded by a fork, and if she wasn't wearing glasses, she would now only be one-eyed. She did indeed get hit in the glasses, in the face, with a rock from a teacher, but she has no desire to learn how to shoot or wield a firearm. Okay.
She does want to shoot a firearm.
Oh, sorry, she does. That was the false. The falsehood was that she has no desire. Gotcha.
Like Princess is such a gentle person, you would think, yeah, of course she doesn't. But no, I could see that she would want to. I could see that.
Nice.
Fun fact about me, here's a freebie. As a teenager in metalwork class, I had a teacher brand me in front of the class. And the story is, he was actually talking about heating metal and getting it red hot. He had a poker in the furnace, literally. And we're all standing around, as kids do. And I'm like, talking to my best friend, because metalwork class. And the teacher went, Faden, shut up. And he reached across with the poker that he literally just had in the furnace, and he got me on the back of the hand. In America, that would have been a great lawsuit. In England, my mum and dad gave him a talking to in front of the headmaster.
Yes, Strega, definitely understandable wanting to learn for those reasons, especially in
the world
the world that we are in. Yes, indeed. I recommend revolvers because they have a good punch and the kick is not as much.
Yeah, revolvers are very nice to handle. Jack and I are actually pretty left-wing people, but we have a nice gun collection. And, why is GL going, come on, Jack?
Oh, probably because I was totally. I think he was responding to the fact that I was reading Strega's things and totally missed the last one. where she was like, I don't want to. And I was like, oh, she doesn't want to. It's like, no, that's the false one. She does want to. It's like, oh, right. Okay. Yep. And in a lot of the states, I know concealed carry is totally permissible as long as you have the the forms filled out and all that jazz. So yeah. Okay. Let us switch over here. All right, geeky, nerdy, D&D related question. If you were... Oh, Alex is doing... Hold on, we'll pause on that.
Oh,
Alex
Vixen, okay.
Alex Vixen coming in. 2 truths and a lie.
All right, never broken a bone. My ass, you're a bouncer. You've driven tanks or something. No.
She says, I have never broken a bone. I have a concealed carry license, and I have never experienced a ghostly encounter.
Oh, I just came up with 2 false. That can't be right. All right.
Wargaming. We didn't see yours. As soon as we're done with Alex's, we'll go back to yours.
We'll get you, Wargaming. We'll get you. Popular streams, sometimes it just, gets carried away.
All right, so with Alex's, we've got both Wargaming, myself, and Malvernus all say true, true, false. On the flip side, Alyssa, you say false, true, true. And Strega says true, false, true. I think that's most everybody. GL, unless GL wanted to jump in. Yeah, aside from GL. Almost everybody. All right, true, false, true from Geo. So Streka and Geo. So Alyssa, you're the only one that says false, true.
I came in. Yeah, I'm the only one that did that one. Yeah.
All right. So what is the reveal? No worries, Geo.
I am pretty damn sure that Alex Vixen has broken a bone. I'm just saying. There's no way that she's never broken a bone.
Depends on how good. No, that's not going to be bad, because now she's like, yes, I've broken bones. I freaking...
She's like Mel Gibson in bloody Lethal Weapon. She breaks her shoulder and shit all of the time. You watch.
Okay. Well, actually, in the film, he was dislocated.
I know what he was doing, Slog.
Actually. I forget who it was, but I always remember somebody commenting on there was some art for some RPG fantasy character, like a D&D character, and the person had a bunch of scars going on, and it was doesn't this character look aren't they like a badass warrior? And I remember somebody coming in and commenting, well, yeah, except apparently they suck at defending themselves.
That was the thing about the original Magnificent Seven, right? There was a guy with this wicked scar down his face, and one of the the villagers goes, "Oh, hire him," and one of the actual sort of cowboys is like, "No, you hire the guy that did that to him."
Exactly.
There she is.
The answer is I've
never
never broken a bone.
I don't believe you. False news. Fake.
She does have a concealed carry license, but it's only viable in Northern Ireland. Oh, you had a stalker there when you moved back there for 2 years. Oh, I'm so sorry for that. And you have experienced several ghostly encounters.
Oh.
Wow.
But you've still broken a bone. I know you have. I'm just not ever going to believe it.
No, she's got too many skills. Now, see, that's the thing. You're saying that she does. You're saying that she's the guy with the scar on the face. No, she's the guy who gave that guy the scar.
Yeah, she is a female Jack Reacher. All right.
All right, so Wargaming. Oh, thanks. You didn't have to redeem your highlighted. We were gonna go back to it, but appreciate it. All right, so Wargaming's 2 truths and a lie. Wargaming says that I own a piece of the rope that hung the Prime Minister of Japan.
Wow.
2, I'd rather let someone kill me than try to harm them in self-defense. And 3, I once owned 2 city blocks worth of land. Plenty of sprains, bruises, and cuts, but she's never broken a bone.
Yeah, I've got to go with a true, false, true as well. Oops. Alright.
And this is where we all find out that Wargaming Recon is is Gandhi reincarnated. And
I think in a logic way, he is. I mean, I actually think that he is.
Yeah, trust me. I'm not saying I'm not saying that that's a bad thing in any means, but I definitely used to have very pacifistic feelings about the world at one point in my life. So I can understand that if that is your mindset, I'm like, I understand it and I get it.
He loves humans, man. He just loves humans. He just wants everyone to be happy.
Hearing very strange beeping noises. Is that like a page I've got up and running in the background?
I'm not hearing a beep. I don't know about anyone else.
Yeah, see, and I've only got you and I on audio. I don't actually have the stream up, so Nefertiti reincarnated. Nice.
Let's go to that.
I think that's most all participants Wargaming.
He does own a piece of the rope that hung Prime Minister Tojo. He would. I was gonna go true, false, but then I was like, it's plausible that you used to own like a massive amount of land.
Okay, cool. Like I said, while I am not in that mindset currently in my life, I understand the pacifistic attitude that you would not wish to do anyone any harm, even if it meant your own, even harm to yourself. I understand that line of thinking. Even though I don't agree with it at this point in my life, I understand how that could be a thing. My older brother, is a pretty hardcore pacifist himself. So I get that as well.
Jack and I are now at the point in life of fuck all humans. Not you guys and girls, but everyone else.
Yeah.
Half the world. Zombie apocalypse.
My Brian McWhirter is saying, he says, not me, people are the worst. Yes, indeed.
Well, and Brian, Jack pointed out the post that you did on Facebook the other day about the elevator being out, and man, we were laughing so much.
Oh,
there's your scorn of humankind right there.
Oh, your custom elevator is out. Oh, sign. I literally just I burst out laughing in the morning. We're having our morning cup of coffee, and I just start cracking the hell up. And she was like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "Did you see Brian's post about the elevator sign?" Oh God, it was so funny. Oh God. That made me laugh. Definitely have lost faith in a lot of humanity, that's for sure. All right, so nerdy question for us gamery folk or gamer adjacent folk. If you were a ranger or druid, this is going to be a two-part question, in both real world, so real world limitations, as well as a fantasy world, so there's the two answers, fantasy and real world. If you were a ranger or druid, what would be your animal companion / mount, if you could have one? So real world, obviously you're not going to be like mountain lion, because nobody has a pet mountain lion or rides a mountain lion in the battle. But if you're like a big person that's into horses, you can be like, oh, horse or blah, or like a dog is my companion. Like, what would be your real world companion? And it could be any pet. Basically, what is your real world pet that you wish to like train and know tricks and stuff? And then in a fantasy world, what would be your exotic companion / mount if you were either a druid or a ranger?
T-Rex, that's a nice one. And Brian says those elevator signs didn't work. If the door's open, people still get in. Humans are fucking stupid. Humans honestly deserve to fall down the elevator shaft, because that is just so stupid. Seriously, I mean, Brian, post that picture. Post a link to your picture here. Because it was literally people falling out of an elevator. That was Brian's warning sign. And people are still getting in the elevator. Are you kidding me right now? That's just nuts. Thanks, Sam. Green Loontoon says a wolf and a griffin. Good choices. Good choices. Wolf is an excellent one. Alex Vixen says fox in the real world and dire wolf in the fantasy world. Is no one doing dragon in the fantasy world? I'd love a dragon. Are we allowed a dragon? Did Jack say no dragons? We will do the question time, Princess, right after this. So by the way, while I'm doing this, you could see me like looking at my lines and going, what the hell? Something feels off. This line here is our center line. That's right through the middle of the castle right there. It goes right through the middle of the drawbridge. It goes right through the middle of this open gate. It goes right through the center of the courtyard. And it goes right through the center of that door to the keep. The keep is way freaking off. So we're gonna move it.
So Brian said real world cat, fantasy world cat. So Princess did say, because she was being a little tricksy there, T-Rex was her real world answer because she was saying cloned from DNA. And then for fantasy, she was saying dragon. So in my question to both you, Strega, and you, Alyssa, because both of you were saying pick and dragon, is that of the mindset that dragons are bestial they are more like kind of feral. They're more animalistic, because in a lot of fantasy campaigns, and I'm not saying that there's a right or wrong answer, in a lot of fantasy campaigns, dragons are some of the most intelligent creatures in the world. And so you're saying, you're my companion. The dragon's going to go, that's cute. How about
Yeah,
you're
but
my
why
minion?
doesn't the dragon go, right on, bro? I got you back.
Well, then he's no longer
Yeah.
he's no longer a ranger or druid companion. He's more of your colleague.
Oh, I
He's
forgot
your-
about the ranger druid connection.
That's what started the
I'm on
question.
fire tonight. Oh yeah, that bit.
Oh, well, Wargaming's coming out swinging because apparently he doesn't like rangers or druids. So he says that he would like any animal that would smack him on the head for being a stupid ranger or druid. Oh no. Wow, harsh words. I don't know, 5e rangers and druids are kind of cool. I'm just saying. Princess saying that she wants them to be her companion because they're intelligent. See, but that's a bit of a cheat, because then they're no longer an animal companion. They're just an ally. They're just your buddy. It's your friend that you're saying, hey, let's go adventure together. And they go, sounds cool, let's do it.
I definitely could see doing the direwolf thing. I definitely could see the attraction of that. But I'm actually way more into the lizards and stuff. So there was something. It probably ties in with the whole dragon thing, but like some kind of giant lizard, almost stormtrooper, like you're in the desert.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally.
I could see something more like that in a fantasy setting. In the modern world, honestly, I mean, it doesn't have to be a mount, right? It's just a companion.
Yeah, just an animal companion.
Yeah, I think I'd do a big, huge fucking lizard.
It's like an iguana or
Yeah.
like a Komodo dragon, maybe?
Yeah, well, that's probably getting a little bit too big. Something to sit on my shoulders.
Sit in your shoulder? Okay, cool. I can dig that. It's funny. I had it was a campaign that didn't it ended a little short. It was the amnesia campaign I was running for everybody, the one that ended unfortunately with the deaths of two of the characters, so that when you were the rogue and all that jazz. That was the campaign where in our fantasy world where none of the intelligent dragons were around anymore. There were like a couple, but they were in hiding. And because magic was on the decline in the world, because it had been a very high magic world, but then these cataclysmic events kept happening and magic kept breaking away and things just started happening, that dragons were, because they were so, for me personally, I like having how dragons are intrinsically tied to the magic of the universe, kind of like Game of Thrones, where it's kind of like a reverse version of it, where when there's no dragons, there's no magic, and as soon as the dragons come back, magic starts coming back into the world. It was kind of like that. And so when the magic started breaking in the world, the dragons started kind of losing their personality. They kind of started losing who they were, and they started becoming more feral and more animalistic. And that was why then I had like dragon riders, because they basically treated them like horses, because the dragons that they found were like animals. They were like wolves, but dragons, so like, all right, we're going to train you to be our mounts. And the dragons were just like, okay, you give me treats. Okay, you give me treats. Basically.
By the way, Brian posted 2 elevator posters that he actually created for his place of work. He works at an airport. There was an elevator that is out of commission. People keep getting in the elevator. Look at one of the... Well, actually, look at them both. One of them is very much on the freaking nose. Would you get in an elevator that had that on it? Apparently, the answer is yes.
I love it so much. It's so funny.
People are still getting on this elevator. I mean, how stupid do humans have to be?
That's pretty silly. That's pretty silly.
It's absolutely nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
Okay. Oh, my apologies, Alex. Let me go back and read it real quick here. So, Alex is got a little bit of a thing here. Let's see.
Okay.
At a nightclub she used to work at, it had an elevator, and one week it wasn't working. So we put up a sign to let people know. The normal sign of out of service wasn't working, so us bouncers came up with a new one that says the elevator is having a vacation as it's needing a break from all you drunk assholes vomiting in it. It will be back next week. That is an awesome sign. They probably were too drunk to understand what it was talking about, but that's hilarious. That's so awesome. Oh man, that's funny. That's great. All right, side question. No longer animal companion related, but kind of animal companion related. And this might be the same answer to most people's answer of what if you could have any pet in the world, what would you have? But if you could have any pet in the world that was as smart as a person and could speak to you like a person, but was still that animal, what animal would you like to have as a pet that was like that?
Actually, it wouldn't be a fucking cat, and I love cats. Because could you imagine that? Hey, 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 you awake? Hey,
Bored.
hey,
Bored. I'm so bored.
food.
Oh God, I'm so bored.
Come on, food me. Come on, food. Like seriously, cats would get me fucking pissed off. And I love cats.
Brian Recorder is saying he would do a cat, but Alex is saying not a cat or a raven. Green Lantern coming in with Komodo dragon. Let's just say, okay, yeah, then you're bringing up my whole thing about dragons from before. Let's say it doesn't have, yeah, see, and I said it can talk to you like a person. Let's say it still has its natural intelligence, but it can speak to you like a person. Let's say that. So it has its normal natural intelligence for that type of animal. So it could become smarter, like a dog or something. Like you could teach it things and have it become more. Yeah, I did say as smart as a person. Let's change that, because as soon as I said that, you said, wouldn't that be a roommate at that point? It's no longer a pet. 100%. Let's say that it's not as intelligent as a person. Let's just say that it can speak like a person. Still, yeah. Brian McWhirter. Still nap time, human, says the cat. Well, unless it's our freaking cat. Our cat would literally be what Alyssa was saying. The hey, I'm hungry. Are you awake? I'm hungry. You awake? I'm bored. Hey. Oh, God. Stop.
What are you doing? I'm working. What's work? Food. I need food. Feed me.
So Gio is still going with the Komodo dragon because he's saying that it would be hilarious. Alex Vixen saying she would not want a Komodo dragon either, because she would just hear, "You're not moving. You must be dead." Eats you while you're in your sleep.
Yes. Fuck,
Yeah,
that's so true. That's so true.
Yeah, wargaming. It's just like the natural animal, just the natural whatever it would normally be. It just can now speak like a human and voice itself as if it was a human.
Could you imagine actually a Komodo dragon, you're asleep at night, and it's like a Komodo dragon comes and goes, "Are you dead?" It's like, "No, I'm not dead." Oh, because you were not moving. Will you sleep?
Princess Strega says a fox. Why a fox, out of curiosity? probably go with like an otter or something.
Otter, that's cool. That's cool.
Nice. They're basically like they're cat dogs, basically. Princess Strega was explaining that because I asked her about why a fox. She said because they're very cat-like, but they're actually canines. So. Oh no.
No, get out. Get out. Get out. Go. You know who you are. Out. Go on.
Technically, if you think about it, we already do know what it says. Just saying.
Yeah, we do. Alright, so Princess Strega, let's do yours. Give me a book number 1 to 4 and a number of question 1 to 3,000. So only Princess Strega can.
She says, I'd go with a shark, but keeping it alive would be a huge financial investment. Yeah, I can imagine.
Not if you just let it eat people.
Well, okay, you gotta have you gotta have a way to house a shark.
Yeah, in the ocean.
Okay, book 4, number 2777.
Right, book 4. I'm not sure we've done any book 4. What if questions 2777. These are the books of knowledge. Alright, I've gone past 2777. Here we go. Top of the page. The question. What if mythological gods were real? Which one would make the world better?
That's kind of a funny question. Aren't they all mythological?
Nice. Nice.
Sorry.
No, I know we have religious people amongst us.
My apologies. Not really.
Let's say the ancient gods.
That doesn't help.
No, actually, it doesn't, does it?
I was going to say, so only the weird one that the guys in Utah believe in is the only one that's excluded?
Princess Strega threw down straight away with Zeus. Alex Vixen, what if the mythological gods, and Jack says so, all of them, were real? Which one would make the world better? I think we could ignore the first part of the question. Which god, out of all of the gods, and there are thousands of them, would actually make the world better if he were actually real and interacting with the world?
Yes, Brian McWhirter, the new gods, I would say are out. I would say the real world gods.
Yeah, and you have to ignore the new ones. I mean...
Well, no, I think the new gods are the ones from like comics, like the Marvel DC. There was like the new gods coming in.
But I mean, I also want to throw in like whatever the Mormons are worshipping. You know, come on.
The Scientology things.
Wargaming Recon said, "As a Catholic, Jack made me laugh."
Hey. All right, so Princess Strega adapted her thing. She said instead of Zeus, she would go with Aphrodite.
Aphrodite.
And Alex Vixen says Artemis.
Artemis, nice. Why Artemis? Why Aphrodite? By the way, I love both of those answers.
Because the second part of the question was how would you? It was making the world better. How would you think they would make the world better?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, Brian McWhirter, while it may sound pessimistic, has said none. But I think Brian's coming from the perspective of all gods and their avarice. Brian, I hear you on that. I do. That gets into the whole Superman thing, right? When he's being worshipped as a god. And he just starts becoming a bit of a dick. This does not feel centered. This really does not. I feel like there's something off here. Buddha, actually, so honestly, out of all of the gods, Buddha is one, that particular religion, that I can actually respect, because there just seems to be nothing but love that comes out of that. At least right now. And Strega said Aphrodite is the goddess of love. Ergo, we have to love.
Brian McWhirter coming in saying Buddha wasn't a god.
But isn't he now? Or is it beginning to get a little bit too Roman in that he died as a god, therefore he is a god? Is a little bit too meta?
I don't know.
How can this be sent to the wall and yet not centered over here? What is off with this? I'm really not understanding what is going on here.
Buddha is not a god because a god is a kind of sentient being, and Buddha is not any kind of being, not even human, but awakened consciousness itself. Nor is Buddha a creator or destroyer or savior. Some Buddhist traditions belonging to the Mahayana do believe that Buddha is a god prior to taking a human birth. So, while there's some Buddhists who say Buddha is, Green Lantern's going with Ra.
Why Ra? By the way, tapping into the Egyptian gods? Hell yeah. I'm down with that.
Keanu Reeves with Siddhartha. Just saying.
Are we asking if Keanu Reeves is a god? Because yes.
He's also Johnny Silverhand. About a month's time. Just saying, 3 weeks.
I can't wait.
And actually, yeah, online they actually Cyberpunk posted as a bit of Cyberpunk trivia for those who are crazy into Cyberpunk trivia, which I wasn't aware of. But on this day, November 16th in 1988, Johnny Silverhand was born in their fantasy world. Which doesn't make sense because in 2077 he'd be 80 years old? How old would he be? 90 years old? What's the math on that?
What, 2077? He'd be 57.
If he was born in 1988.
Oh, 1988. Oh, shit. Yeah.
Maybe the character was created in 1988.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that.
That has to be that.
I'm going to go with that. I'm going to pull up that tweet from the Cyberpunk and see what. And then now that I'm like pondering it out loud, I'm like, wait a minute. Green Lantern says Ra is classy and has the head of a bird. I got nothing.
Hey man, I'm down.
Oh, in the original timeline, Cyberpunk was set in 2020.
Ah, okay. That's getting to a little bit like on a clause or something right there. But
so technically, if it was the original timeline from the game, he'd be 32. But because we're shifting it forward 57 years or 55 years. No, 57 years. 57 years. Yeah, that's...
He's no longer born on that date.
Right, they've got to shift that up a bit. Especially since they decided to have his character exist in the 2077. If I could be any superhero of any gender, who would I want to be and why? Interesting. If I was going to be a superhero, because that's different than like who's my favorite superhero kind of thing.
You are the superhero.
If I am that superhero, who would I want to be? Interesting. I'll have to come back to you on that. That's actually an interesting question.
I'll answer it. Of Captain America or Iron Man. Why? Because Captain America has all of the right ideals that I think a human should have. Tony Stark? Why? Because he is such a fucking self-righteous, self-absorbent asshole, and I wish I could be that person.
Which is funny, yeah, you pick the two guys who are pretty much on opposite ends of the spectrum there.
Yeah.
Of the good guy spectrum.
If I really, really, really had to pick Captain America, it's because I believe in those ideals so much. Every word out of that guy's mouth, I'm like, hell yeah. Yeah, and interesting that they are indeed opposites in the Civil War. Exactly. And in all truth, if I really, really, really had to pick, Stark wouldn't be in there. I love Stark's intelligence. I think that's what it is. And I love that he's able to turn that intelligence into actionable items. You know, the real technology that can make a world difference. That I like about Stark. But Stark doesn't ever say anything that I personally could ever hear me saying.
Green Lantern says Jean Grey, the Phoenix. And Princess Strega says Power Girl, because why not be a Kryptonian? Okay.
Why not?
Okay. And out of curiosity, any particular reason why Power Girl and not Supergirl? Out of curiosity, I don't know aside from them being now, and I may have this wrong. I may be wrong on this, but it was my understanding that they were the same person, just from different Earths, from different multiverses. So I was wondering what the difference is. I actually don't know the difference between Power Girl and Supergirl, other than the fact that they're the same person from two different timelines. Unless I'm wrong. I thought that was true.
Brian McWhirter, the costume. Brian.
Power Girl is more of an adult than Supergirl and a bit more muscular. And then Alex confirms, yeah, Power Girl is more mature and more experienced than Supergirl. Okay. Also, Green Lantern, Black Knight. Okay, Black Knight's one of those characters that I'm actually not familiar with, and was looking forward to when they did the Eternals, because Black Knight was going to be in it. And I was like, cool, because I don't know I know the name of the character, but I know nothing about the character. So I'm hoping they do the character well so I can learn about them. Cool. Spawn would be... Spawn's an anti-hero. I think that would work.
Yeah, Spawn's definitely anti-hero.
I'm going to have to look up...
Spawn's kind of cool. Who came up with Spawn?
That's Wargaming. Wargaming.
That's a cool one.
And also asking about Angela. I know of Angela, but I don't know Angela. Angela was created by Todd McFarlane and Neil Gaiman. Supporting antagonist of the Spawn series. Well, wait a minute. Does she end up going good? Because this straight up is saying they're an antagonist. I mean, hero is like superhero is supposed to imply that they're one of the good guys. Yeah, and just because you're an angel doesn't mean you're a good guy. I mean, look at Gabriel from the Constantine film. I mean, come on. Hell, look at half of the angels and freaking most of the angels in the Supernatural series. Yeah, see, Angela's a villain. See, there you go, superhero, not a supervillain. Come on, man. Black Knight, his appearances in the Avengers. Brian's coming back to his F you to gods and stuff. He's like, or just look at actual angels in the Bible. Yeah, angels are dicks. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, you know, I think you're trying to get by on a technicality here because you want Angela to be your choice for this. But all right, I'll allow it. I mean, it wasn't my question. It was the book. No, it wasn't the book. It was Princess Strega. So I guess she lays the ground rules for the question. So.
All right, and we had, I think, a time check. Was that a time check? I feel like it was a time check.
You are 12 minutes over your normal allotted time.
Yes, we really should be ending the stream right about now. It always feels like a little bit like a shame when we're really just motoring along and having a lot of fun. Remember, we are going to keep trying to entice Jackie Boy back with us for future Wednesday night streams. In the meantime, I don't like that sketch. In the meantime,
we want
a
what?
But so where we're at with this is actually we're making good progress. It doesn't look like it, but we are.
We live on a bloody swamp. We need all the land we can get.
All right. So we have, I want to say, most of the lines drawn in. There are some mini lower towers.
Who seek
Wow,
the
you were just not going to fucking let that go, are you? We have some mini towers over here that I want to get drawn in. They kind of indent here, like so, and then we're going to pick up on them here. Once we've got that, we've got our main walls in, including this outer one that's going to kind of do this type of thing. After that, it's details. It's, as my friend in Louisiana would say, it's all lagniappe after that. So I feel we might actually finish this particular map tomorrow. I actually feel pretty confident about that. I really do. We're going to have like our background here in the distance. We're going to have some foreground shit going on here. Maybe even someone like looking down and pointing at the castle. Maybe even someone over here going, hey, we're going to assault this thing. But I think we're going to finish it tomorrow. I think we are. Details and all. And that will include little sort of ropes on the drawbridge here. If anything actually catches us out, it'll be we need to do battlements all over this thing. And that means these towers need slightly wider bits on the top with battlements on there. So we do have some details to add, but this is now, I think, going into the interesting zone. This is going to become a fun map. This is going to be a good one to do. It's just going to become alive. And maybe we'll do some things on the inside of this. you know, some buildings or something in there, like stables and that type of shit. I don't know if Harlech Castle had that. At this point, we're so far removed from Harlech, who cares?
Jill wants you to add a dragon.
A dragon.
And Wargaming says a shrubbery and a swamp.
A shrubbery is definitely no problem. A swamp? A swamp? A swamp is a swamp. Maybe it's no problem. A dragon? I'll have to ask the clients about that.
Maybe you can have its little like nose poking up out of the water. He's a moat dragon.
That we could do. That we could do. I think this one will look good. I'm actually beginning to get optimistic about this one. I think it'll be okay. Alright. So with that said, just you guys and girls hanging out with Jack and I tonight. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? I had so much fun. What about you, Jack?
Definitely.
All of you are really, really cool. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I really appreciate it. You make me smile inside my soul. To all of you Twitch subscribers, to all of you Patreon supporters, huge amount of love. You really do inspire me. So thank you, Patreon. Thank you, you Twitch subs. And thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I'm back tomorrow, and Wednesday, and Thursday. Let's do this again. Same time tomorrow. I love you all. I'll see you on the flip side.